See, everything comes from a need. Many restaurants are created because somebody put together a really good recipe and everybody told them you should sell this, right? Or they're a good cook and people tell them, hey, you should open a restaurant and people need to know about this. So don't feel bad about being a salesperson and don't feel bad about asking people to buy your product or hire you for the
I
service that
love
you
that.
provide. You're solving a problem. They have a problem and you have a solution. Don't feel bad about it.
Right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Million Dollar Secrets Show. Today, we're going to be talking about how to hit 7 figures in direct sales. If you're wanting to get your commissions up, if you're wanting to make more sales online, then this is the program. This is the video you need to watch. And we have Paula Chavez on with us, and she's going to be talking about how she went from living in Colombia, living out of the country, to moving to the US at 22 years old, having $0 to her name, having 0 relationships or network, to now generating over 7 figures in commissions through direct sales. And so for all of you all that are trying to make money online, maybe you're in the network marketing space, you're doing direct sales in some sort, or maybe you're just trying to get better at sales, this is the conversation you need to hear. So Paula, welcome to the show. We are so glad you're here. How are you doing?
Hi, Michael. Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here. Very, truly honored about, the fact that you just said it. And every time I hear it, it's like, yeah, that's me. Like you hear a lot of success stories and where a lot of people started, but sometimes we forget where we come from. So it's
Well, that's
kind
what I was
of,
going to ask. Like, how does it feel when people say that? And you've gone through this long journey from Colombia to the US to making 7 figures in direct sales through commissions and all that fun stuff. Like, did you ever imagine yourself when you lived in Colombia as a teenager? Did you ever imagine you'd be where you're at right now?
So I no. I mean, the short answer is no. Even though when I was little, I used to tell my parents, I'm going to be the CEO of Coca-Cola. I'm going to run Coca-Cola. I always said that, but it was like that thing like to me Coca-Cola was like, wow, like a brand that you saw everywhere. So to me, like being the CEO of Coca-Cola was like, wow, like the biggest thing without knowing much about the world and sales and marketing and all of that. To me, it was like, I don't know, like big. So that was my dream. I never really thought of how much money you would make or how many lives you could impact, like all that kind of stuff. No, it was just like, like, shiny name,
Right.
a big brand. That's what I thought. I thought it would be cool, but no, never, no, like
Okay.
not.
That's how I'm just always curious. So you grew up in Colombia, right? So what made you want to come to the States? Like, is it just now? I have several friends that are from Guatemala, Honduras, from different areas, of the Central America region. And is it something that like US is like opportunity and you decided to come to the US just because there was more opportunity here? Or is there something else pulling you to the US? I'm just curious.
I never thought I would end up in the US, to be honest. Like I said, it was like my path was I went to school. I went to an American school, so I learned English, the basics of English when I was in school. Then I finished my career in international business, but it wasn't a thing. My goal was not to come here. I graduated and my dad was here visiting family. So he said, hey, come over here, spend some time here, a couple months, and then go back home and find work. But I ended up staying here. Once here, I did see opportunity. I saw, wow, I can start making money now and help my family. And then, through that I found independence, which I didn't have before. So that was really
Right.
cool. Mhm.
And what I find really, really unique is when somebody comes and moves into a situation they've never been in before. When
Mhm.
somebody moves into an environment they've never been before, a lot of times it's really, really hard to build those new relationships. It's really hard to build a business in a new state, a new country. And
Mhm.
so which I know you probably did a bunch of things before you got into where you found your home in direct sales, right? I'm sure you tried multiple things, but there's probably people listening to this right now and they're like, Paula, man, I'm exactly where you were. I'm new. I moved. I just moved. I'm in a different state. I had to move away from my family for some reason, or maybe I'm just alone and I'm trying to build my business. How did you go about building a network in a place you didn't know anybody?
It's crazy to think about it because I didn't grow up here. But like you said, Michael, like I had nobody. I didn't go to school here. I came here. I actually started when I mentioned that I started making money, and it was like, okay, now I felt a little bit of independence. I was washing people's toilets. I was cleaning houses, and I was babysitting other kids. And in the process of starting this new independence, I found myself, I was like being a disappointment for my family because I did go to private school. I went to the best schools in my country. That was not the path that I was supposed to follow. So you come here and you need to survive. So that's what I was doing. And in that sense, like I didn't feel proud of it, but I was okay doing it. And then when you start meeting people, it's like this is so the circle was very similar. So now you're meeting people, but now you're like, okay, I want to find a different crowd, people that I
Right.
can learn from. You have to start moving to different circles. You have to start finding people that are like-minded. So my first like real entrepreneurship here in this country was in real estate. After I became a mom, had my daughter was about 3 years old, I I was seeing a lot of people around me being in real estate and having success in real estate. And this was in 2006, 2007. So I decided to go for my real estate license. And now this is a whole new world of people. I was a stay-at-home mom for 3 years. I had no idea of what I was going to find out there. But then I started meeting new people. So as you start deciding like, okay, where do I want to go? When you start setting goals, you have to find the people that are doing the things that you want to accomplish.
I
And
like
sometimes
that.
it's hard because you don't know what you don't know. But if you're in direct sales, if you're in network marketing, if you are a restaurant owner, like this applies to anything. If you're in real estate, if you're whatever it is that you're doing, where are the people that are having success, and find your way find a way to get closer to those circles, because you start learning, you start talking a different language, you start, somebody who's successful will have no problem sharing
Wow.
how they became successful. I'm pretty sure this is why you decided to come up with to launch your podcast, Michael, right? Like
Right.
you heard, I was listening to some of the previous episodes, and you were saying like you wanted to get the message out there, you wanted to share, like you feel like you have all this information because you've been successful yourself and you've seen other successful people. So I think it's kind of like a shortcut. Get closer to people that are accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish, or
Ooh, I
that have.
like that. That's a gem right there. Get closer to people who already have what you have or are accomplishing what you want to accomplish. That's like so true. And I just want to say I wholeheartedly believe that because over the past couple years, I've seen this through my friends. I've seen this through the people I've been hanging around. They'll literally change their circle and start hanging around people who have a life they desire to have, or think the way they want to think, or live the way they want to live, and their life changes completely. So if you're here right now, and it may seem like the most simple change in life, it may seem so simple that you think it's not even worth putting attention to. But she just gave you the key. If you figure out ways to surround yourself with the right people, you can expedite and shortcut your way to the top of your industry, to the top of whatever space you want to be in. And so I just want to say that was a gold bar. That was a gem. I wholeheartedly believe that. And so I would like to challenge everybody listening to this is audit your circle, right? And I have several friends that talk about this all the time. They'll say, audit your circle. Who is the last 5 to 10 people you called and had conversations with in the past week? Who are the 5 to 10 people you've hung out with in the past week? And ask yourself, are they where you want to be? Are they where you want to be exactly right now? If you say no, they're not the right people, then maybe you need to change your circle. Am I saying abandon those people? No, not abandon those people, but start being more intentional about your relationships. So I just wanted to say that was amazing. I love that gem.
It's such a game changer, and it applies to anything we want to do in life. Like if you want to be a better parent, and your friends are not the best examples or role models for their kids, why would you want to hang out around them? If you want to lose weight, you want to get fitter, you want to start running, hey, start hanging out with runners, right? You feel more accountable. You start learning how they are successful in whatever it is that you want to do. 100% it's a shortcut. And even though it may feel intimidating, and one key thing to this, Michael, is we start questioning our worth. Like, am I worthy of being in this circle? Am I worthy of this relationship or this friendship? And yes, you are. Yes, you are. And you will find that the people, like I said before, the people that have achieved even a minimum success, they're maybe just one step ahead of you. The majority of people will extend their hand and bring you with them, and together going to the next level. It's 100% for sure.
Man, you're just like hitting me right in the heart, because that's something that I actually struggled with for a little bit. I'm getting better, but I found myself, and maybe this is somebody else listening as well, I found myself entering bigger rooms and bigger circles, and I should say better circles. And yeah, I had like a confidence issue. It was like for a while, I was surrounding myself, and I still am, with people who are making like 10 times the amount I'm making per year, or like 20 times the amount I'm making per year, and have way more followers and have way more accomplishments by worldly means, right? And I would find myself kind of sink to the back of the room because my worth was there. So that's something that I feel like a lot of people struggle with, but they need to work on, and it's something that you have to work on daily. And I love it, and I tell this story all the time, but Eric Thomas, for people that know who Eric Thomas is, like one of the #1 motivational speakers in the world, great author as well. He talks about the difference between when he went from speaking to college kids, speaking to youth groups at church, speaking to elementary schools. He said the difference between what he did from then to speaking to NFL teams and speaking to NBA teams and executives, he didn't change anything. All he did was change his belief in himself and his confidence. He said one day, he said, I'm worthy to be speaking to these people. I'm worthy to be leading the people on the NBA teams, the NFL teams, the MLB teams. And so it was just a confidence switch for him. And so if you're dealing with that, reach out, let me know. Let's get better at that together. So I want to continue. I'm sorry, go ahead.
To interrupt you, but something that when you put out the offer about having guests speak, right, and in this specific topic, when I read it, I was like, oh, that's not me. And then I stopped myself. I'm like, wait. And I read it again, and I said, wait, that's me. And I immediately thought, they're probably not gonna say yes. And then I read it again, and I'm like, wait, why not me? So I think that's something that we constantly ask ourselves. Why not me? If the opportunity is put in front of you, it's for a reason. You're already equipped, and maybe you need to prepare yourself a little bit more. But if the opportunities are presenting to you, it's for a reason. They're there because they are for you to take them. So always say to yourself, why not me? And I love what you said. He's amazing. Man. Wasn't he homeless, living in like on the streets? Or
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Why not me? That's like the most powerful statement I've heard all week. And it's something so simple, but ask yourself, why not me? And it's so, listen, opportunities are coming in front of our face every day. People pray to God, I want an opportunity. These opportunities come in front of our face. And what happens is, one, we either can't identify them, right? Because we don't know what the opportunities are. So you need to get really crystal clear at identifying what opportunities you want, right? And then two, like Paula said, make sure that you're ready when you're ready to take a stand when that opportunity comes and you have the confidence, right? So it's just powerful. So let's go into this. So you got into real estate and you started meeting some people, started getting to some better circles. And then how did you find direct sales? Was it just a friend told you about it? You heard about it online? What was that story of transitioning from real estate to eventually getting into online sales and doing the direct sales?
Well, it's crazy because when we learn about direct sales and network, when we learn about the industry now, it's totally different from what it was 10 years ago.
Right.
So I was in real estate, and once I had my second baby, I just felt a tug to just be home, to be home. I didn't have help. My family doesn't live here. So I really didn't have much help. My husband worked crazy hours for a big company. He's retired now, by the way. He left his full-time
Congratulations. That's awesome.
29 years. So that was like a tough decision, but we made it happen. But anyway, um, back to the topic. So I had success in real estate, and it was hard to leave that success behind and take on the role of stay at home mom again. It hit me hard. I had months where I didn't feel like myself. I was just eating. I gained like 50 pounds. I was completely dedicated to my kids, but I always wanted to be successful. I always wanted to do things for myself, but that would contribute to the family. But I needed to have like that extra thing where I was, making money and being successful and helping other people and still be an awesome mom. I knew I could do it. But yeah, so I was a stay-at-home mom, gained a ton of weight, and I came across a home workout program that a friend was doing, and she had lost like 30 pounds. And I was like, Anna, what are you doing? Tell me. So she told me about this workout program. Maybe you guys have heard about it. It's called Insanity. So
Yep.
I'm like, oh, sure. Listen, I didn't even care about the level of difficulty. I didn't care that I was 220 pounds. I'm like, if she's doing it, why not me? So I popped those
Why
videos.
not me?
I would die. But I'm telling you, like every time I wanted to quit, I always thought, why not me? We were, similar situations, kids, stay at home moms. I saw myself in her. So every time I had a challenge, I would reach out to her. Every time I was struggling, she had already completed it and she had lost weight. Remember what I told you guys? Go to the people that are having success already with what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. That was her for me. So every time. And then once I got plugged into the workout, then I started looking for, okay, who else is doing this? Where can I get more resources? How can I get better at it? So that's when I started looking online. And then I found the company that created the program and the instructor. And with that, I found that there was a business opportunity and a discount in the product if you were an affiliate with the company. So I joined that health and wellness company. I was there for about 7 years, and I reached a certain level of success, but not where I needed it to be. So my belief, like I saw all these people having success in the company and reaching like big milestones. I was happy for them and I was seeing that success, but for whatever reason I lost belief in myself. So I didn't pursue the business the way that maybe I've done it now in the company that I'm with, because I don't know, for something happened, something got in my head. Maybe I was focused in other areas. And there was one thing that I do regret now not doing, and it was personal development. And I think that's one thing that I want to also, that we share on personal development and how important it is, because that is a big key to achieving those big income goals.
Right.
100%. Yeah. But that's how I found no. I found, oh, is that my,
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And it's really cool. You talk about self-development. Whenever it comes to sales, I think people underestimate, and this is maybe in life in general, right? Whenever it comes to sales though specifically, you have to sharpen the axe daily, right? I think we actually talked about this on an episode last week. And the guy was talking about sharpening his axe, right? And so you have to sharpen your axe daily, especially in sales, because you're going to be told no, right? How many times in direct sales have you been told, no, I'm not interested? Probably more than you can count, right? And so you're going to you have to be okay with hearing the no's, right? And hearing the not right nows. And you're going to get a lot of rejection. But with a lot of rejection, the more you get, the more yeses you get as well, right? It's a numbers game, but you have to work on your mindset. And you have to work on your self-development and take time each day to sharpen the axe, right? And so that was one thing. I was in network marketing, direct sales a little bit, in college. And that was one thing I loved about most direct sales companies is they provide really, really great self-development, great trainings. And so if you're in the direct sales industry right now, one thing I would encourage you to do is latch on to the existing materials, existing resources that your company offers, right? If you're not plugging into those, find a way to do so, because those are there for a reason. And we know, your company knows. And even if you're not in direct sales, there's a direct correlation between your self-development, your mindset, and ultimately the amount of sales you'll get over the course of several, of time. So I just want to say that was a golden gem there. So let's talk about, like, there's some people that are listening. They're like, hey, I want to make some money online. I want to maybe like get into sales. What are some of the things that you've learned over the past few years? You've been doing this for a little while now. You've been doing direct sales. You've been making a little bit of money here and there. You're making decent income, right? And so what are, like, we'll just say 2 or 3 tips you would give for people that could take their business to the next level?
Number one, get rid of the idea that sales is bad.
Oh, I like that one.
Sales is the best profession in the world. I feel like I am always selling them on dinner, selling them on brushing their teeth, selling them on picking up the clothes every single day. But the bottom line is this: sales is all about solving somebody's problem with the product or service that you're promoting.
It's about
Right? Like
serving.
yeah, it's about serving. So, and solving a problem. So if your problem was solved with the product that you're selling or the business idea that you have or that you've been working on, most likely it helped you or it helped somebody close to you, and you decided to monetize either that passion or that product or that solution or that service, whatever that is. So why do you feel bad about sharing it with others? Don't. Share it with others. I noticed, for example, in real estate, a lot of people buy their first house and they decide to become real estate agents because, right, they had a problem or they had a need. They wanted to buy a house. Somebody made the process smooth, or maybe they had a bad experience and they said, you know what, I'm going to do things differently and I'm going to help other people buy their first house. And that's what made you go into real estate. So see, everything comes from a need. Many restaurants are created because somebody put together a really good recipe and everybody told them you should sell this, right? Or they're a good cook and people tell them, hey, you should open a restaurant and people need to know about this. So don't feel bad about being a salesperson, and don't feel bad about asking people to buy your product or hire you for the service that you provide. You're solving a problem. They have a problem and you have a solution. Don't feel bad about it.
Right. And I ask people this all the time. And I was talking to this on a coaching group I was speaking to the other day, is if you had the cure for cancer, how many people would you talk to let them know you found the cure? You found the cure to a disease that has taken millions and millions of lives. Mm-hmm. How hard would you go to get this cure to the world? How loud would you shout? How much would you shout, right? You would be going all day, every day. If I found the cure to cancer right now, I would be shouting it from the rooftops. And that's just an example. But for some of you all, you have the solution that somebody needs. Why aren't you shouting it from the rooftop? Why don't you believe in it as hard as you should, right? And so I love that. One, selling is not bad. Selling is not bad. It's serving people and finding a way to help them make a better decision about their future and about what they need in life. So so selling is not a bad thing. You have any other tips you would give to people?
Have goals, set goals, know where you're going, know where you want to go. So if you, some people take, and I would say I'm people. I was
Aren't we
people
all?
when I was years ago when I started. I feel like I didn't take my, like, I didn't see what I was doing as something of value, right? I didn't know that. Number two, I didn't have goals because I didn't think I need goals. I didn't know the importance of having goals, but I also know that I was not giving setting goals a priority because I wasn't taking my business seriously because I didn't have belief in myself. Say, what, Paula? What did you just say? So it all leads to, either success or failure. Because if you're not growing, you're not learning, you're not developing yourself, you're not seeing what you can't see. I didn't know about goal setting. So set goals, know where you're going. Do you want to have three new contracts? Do you want to have, I don't know, whatever X amount on sales? Set targets, because that will give you direction, and it would put everything that you do in alignment with whatever is necessary to get to those goals. So set realistic goals, but know where you want to go. I heard, and I cannot remember who was interviewing her. I was just, like, well, my mind was blown with what she said. But somebody was interviewing Oprah, and they were saying, "Hey, Oprah, you've interviewed like the most successful people on the planet, right? Like, who, all these successful people, all these success stories, big names, right? What do they all have in common? What have they said? That what do you see that they all had in common to achieve
Right.
success?" And she said, plain and simple, they knew where they were going. They
Ooh.
knew what they wanted
Yep.
to do. So I think that's important. Knowing what you want, what's the goal, what's your daily goal, and what's your 30-day goal, your 90-day goal. Knowing where you're going gives you so much clarity of like, commit to the goal, and that'll give you clarity on what to do day in and day out. 100%.
Man, that's an awesome tip. And so we can apply that to many different areas, different topics here. If you're in sales specifically, you're leading a sales team, or maybe you're just growing your own business through sales, having those metrics you want to hit. How many people do you want to reach out to, right? How many people are your goal to close this week? Give you something, a targeted hit, like she said. So powerful. But then this gets really important as you're growing a team, as you're growing an organization. Now, some of you listening to this, you may be a solopreneur. You may be the only one on your team. But as you grow, and especially in direct sales, as you start getting other people on your team, you start bringing other people on board with you. Or maybe you're just having an online business, an agency, or a consultant firm or something of that sort. As you bring people on, you're going to have a really clear vision for them. Because without a vision, people will perish, right? And so you have to set a roadmap in front of people. It'd be like if I went on a trip, right? If I was I live here in Kentucky. So let's say I was in Kentucky and I wanted to go down to see Paula, her family in Florida. If I don't know the exact coordinates where she lives, and I don't even have a GPS to take me there, I may end up in California or New Jersey. Who knows, right? And so now there's some people that could probably get there. I couldn't get there without a map, without knowing those exact coordinates. But that's the point, right? You need to have something you can tangibly, and not necessarily just tangibly, but you can have in front of you to lead the way and to lead your daily actions. So number one, know that sales is not bad. Number two, set goals. Do you have any other tips you would give to people, or are those like two like the most important ones you would give to people who want to get to like 7-figure sales and above?
Well, I think for 7 figures, like, I was thinking about this and thinking about, okay, what makes the difference between 6 and 7 figures? 6 figures, talk to a ton of people. To make 6 figures, talk to a lot of people. Find a lot of people. Find the people that need your product or your service. Where's that warm people? Like, so for example, I sell activewear. Where would I have more success? Trying to convince somebody who doesn't work out to try the leggings, or do I want to go to the people that are already working out, that see the value in
Right.
having good quality activewear, right? So where's your target audience? Where's your ideal client? Go there and talk to as many as possible. So sales is about people, about solving people's problems. So getting to 6 figures, a lot of people. Getting to 7 figures, help a lot of people make 6 figures, or help a lot of people achieve success. In terms of entrepreneurship in our space, in the network marketing, direct sales, social selling, there's different names, and to me it's the same.
Right.
If
Yeah.
we
Same here.
simplify things, it's the same. We sell products and we help people also start their own businesses. To get to 7 figures in this space, help a lot of people. Help a lot of people get to 6 figures. Help a lot of people, because it's very hard to get to 7 figures only with your own sales, with
Right.
your
With your own
yeah,
efforts. Right.
yeah.
Yeah. That's powerful. And that's, I think, in life in general, the more people you help succeed, not just in sales, but the more people you help win, it's only going to help you as well. It's only going to help you get further and further and further. And I've seen that in my own life, right? Just adding value to people, like we talked about in weeks prior with Adrian, when we were talking about, branding and stuff. Leading with value is something that, it's something you could do to help people win. And that's what I've seen in my life. So I just love that. And it's powerful. So like right now in your life, you're succeeding, you're winning in this space. I'm just curious. I ask people this randomly sometimes on the show, like, what's the vision? Like, what is the goals for you? Because right now you said set goals. So what do you see in the next year or two for your life, and as a leader, what are you kind of envisioning?
I want to help more families, and I have this vision of helping. I've helped and supported many women on my team who have reached success. And when I say success, not just financial, but they've overcome obstacles and challenges that held them back. Uh, but I wanna put more money. I want to help more people make more money. And one thing that it's just a tug in my heart. I am Hispanic, right? I'm from Colombia, and I've built my business in English. And one thing that I see in the long term is I want to also be able to have a positive impact in my community. So if there's any Latinas out there, I'd love to connect with you guys. Not that I don't want to connect with everybody, but I
Right.
do. No,
You're hating on us guys. You're hating on us guys. I get it.
but like I wanna network with more Latinas. I want to connect with more Latinas, like successful, like those of you that are those of those immigrants, and those women that have maybe grew up here, and either they've achieved success or they're struggling to find their way in in a community where maybe they don't feel value. See, Michael, I was sharing with you about belief and the thought of why not me. I am half Colombian, half Arabic, and I came to this country the year of 9/11. So if that puts things into perspective, for the first few years, that worthiness and that, are people going to believe me? Are people going to trust me? Are people going to want to do business with me? All those things keep coming, because once you start achieving new levels, all those devils and all those things that kind of you put them like to the side, they try to they try to come back up to the surface, right? And that, what you said about personal development, and I'm taking note. I'm like, I love this. Sharpening the axe daily. That's gonna help fight those devils and those challenges and those little voices that tell
Yeah.
you you're not worthy, you're not enough,
Hmm.
you're not capable, nobody's gonna trust you. Nobody, like, I have an accent, right? And it was much worse 20 years ago, but I had to say, you know what? I am capable. I am worthy. I can do these things, and I'm going to have great relationships and great success. So that's where, not that I'm not grateful and I'm not passionate about what I do, but I do want to be able to connect and help more women who are like me, a mom, a Latina, that wants to be successful, that when she was little she had big dreams of being her own boss and doing her own thing, and that's where I want to start stepping into, a little bit bolder.
I love that. And just your story, like I've never been in a situation like that, right? I'm from the US. I was born in a great family that provided me with a lot, and I've never been in a situation where I've had to move to a foreign place. I've never had to move out of my environment. So I give major props and major kudos to people who have overcome situations like that. And so big round of applause for you and all the success that your family's seen. I truly, truly love underdog stories. You were an underdog. You've beat the fight. You've won the battles. You've made it. And now you're going to pull other people up with you, which is amazing. So listen, we want to support you. My community wants to support you in whatever way possible. Where can people connect with you at? Is it social media? Is there a website? Kind of give a little plug for yourself on where people can connect with you at.
Sure. Look, if you are on Instagram, I'm there. Paula, PaulaChavez, Paula Chavez M. I'm on Instagram. I have a place where I have like all my links and stuff, coachpaulachavez.com. But I'm a simple girl. You guys, I don't have a fancy website. I don't have any fancy team and, setup. I've done this from my kitchen table, carrying a baby on one arm and trying to post something or
Right.
connect with somebody or follow up with somebody while I'm holding a baby in my hand. I built this business now that my kids are older, on the road to soccer tournaments, soccer practice. I'm Yeah, it's simple. Simple girl. If you want simple and you want success, I do. I do say I'm very proud of myself, in the sense that I'm not boasting, but just staying consistent and knowing that my time to see the success for my hard work was gonna come eventually. So it's, maybe other people have achieved faster success, but I've overcome a lot of obstacles, and I think we should all remain hopeful, and we should all, not give up so quickly. As entrepreneurs, it's so easy to jump from one thing to another when we don't feel
I like
successful.
that.
So whatever it is that you're doing, stay the course. Like,
Yeah.
stay faithful, stay true to who you are, and start looking for those people that are achieving success. I'm here. If you need help or support, reach out. But that's it. But I'm super grateful for this opportunity, Michael.
Well, thanks
I
for being on here. This is amazing. And everything you just said is awesome because I have like a little slogan and something that's on our channel. We have t-shirts. It's commit, conquer, right? Most people just go and try to conquer the world, but they never make a commitment to themselves and to their industry. And that's a whole nother story for another day. But I was exactly the person opposite of what you just said. Whenever I was getting into business, I tried everything and anything and did not commit to it. So just take that advice. If you're here today, commit to one thing long enough, take the right amount of actions over long enough, you will find success. So listen, I'm big on gratitude. I'm big on recognition. Listen, if you're a part of my community here, if you are watching this and you found anything valuable from this conversation, if you pulled a gem and something resonated with you, do me a favor, go DM her on social media and let her know that you watched the show and you're appreciative. Literally will only take you 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds to go and send her a message, but let her know how much she's appreciated because she's impacted my life and she's impacting many, many lives around the world currently. So go show her appreciation. And so, Miss Paula, thank you so much for being on here. Thank you for just pouring out for the past 30 to 40 minutes with our audience. We're so pumped. Maybe in the next year or so, we'll bring you back on and kind of get an update on everything and how everything's going. And guys, thank you for, yeah, let's do it again. But everybody watching or listening right now, thank you for being here. We do these every single Monday just for you guys. If you're watching on YouTube, click the button below and subscribe. Or even if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, hit subscribe so you get these notifications. And go ahead and hit the like button too. This just lets us reach more people with the messages that we have. So guys, thank you so much for watching. This is another episode of the $1 Million Secrets podcast. And guys, we will see you right here, same time, same place, next Monday. God bless you. Miss Paula, see you later.
Thank you so much, Michael. Good luck, everybody.
See you guys. Let's win. Let's crush it.